Welcome back, gamers, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers. If you happen to be new to the channel, we put out daily content on everything video game related, so hit that subscribe button, that way you never miss out on another video. Plus, comment down below with what you love most about the game Borderlands. Now let's jump into today's solo story of these scariest Borderlands creepypastas titled Console Me. The following creepypasta is based on a story written by Azuri Temseth, aka Panda, on the Creepypasta fandom page. They begin the story by saying that after saving for some time, they finally were able to buy themselves a new gaming console and a few games as well. They purchased a brand new Xbox 360 and then some pre-owned games from a nearby store. When they finally got home, they popped in the first game and it was Borderlands. After a day or so, they managed to work through the main campaign mode and had moved on to doing some of the side missions. At this point in the game, the bandits, skags, and most of the enemies were becoming increasingly difficult to beat. He attributes this to the enemies being at the same level as him and just not having the necessary firepower to take them down. Now becoming frustrated with the game, he shouted, "Damn, why is this so hard? All I want is a weapon strong enough to be able to kill these things." In that moment, he found a supply crate which contained his first orange weapon, being one of the more rarer items that you can come across in the game, for those of you who don't know. He shrugged off this odd coincidence of him finding the crate after yelling at the game and moved on. While he was engaging in a battle against the army of spider ants and their queen, he shouted once more, "Why is this so hard?" Again, something strange happened. The sniper that he had suddenly could kill every enemy with a single hit. Just one hit. Not even critical damage. Even the queen herself, which was the second highest health among the spider ants, just dropped from the shot. When the gamer was finished with playing Borderlands, they wanted to move on to another game that they had purchased. Except while on the dashboard, the gamer hears a voice say their username. As he slowly looked up to the screen waiting to see if perhaps he accidentally joined a party, he realized that something else was going on. The voice spoke again. "Hello, sir. Are you there?" He put down his controller and ran into his kitchen. After splashing some water into his face and taking a few deep breaths, he returned to the living room. Perhaps he was imagining it all or hallucinating for some reason. The intro for the next game started playing automatically, except for a brief moment it froze, and the voice spoke again. "Help me." He then ran around his home to see if anyone else was there with him, pinching himself even as he walked room to room to make sure that he wasn't dreaming. The protagonist found nothing. It was just him and his Xbox 360. He sat back down on the couch, now on edge that he was hearing voices in his head. To distract himself, he kept playing. And every time he would defeat an opponent, the game would freeze, which included the audio as well, except oddly enough, he could hear the sounds of someone gasping for air. The voice spoke yet again. "Find the microphone and headset in the box," it gasped. He looked inside of the console box to find the microphone just like the voice said. He didn't remember the 360 even coming with this, so how could it be in the box? Now curious and a little bit freaked out, he plugged in the mic and simply said, "Hello?" The voice then responded saying, "Oh good, you're still there." The voice sounded feminine, so he went on to ask who she was, and just like that, she responded, "My name is Cass, and what about you?" She said in a now relaxed voice. The console seemed to be alive and even had a personality to it. He didn't feel comfortable giving out his real name in case this was some kind of troll or scammer. Cass then asked if he would like to continue playing his game, and when he responded yes in a still suspicious tone, the game started immediately. This time there was no glitching with the game. Everything he did moving forwards worked properly. He asked Cass what she was doing in his console, now trying to be as polite as she was being. She said, "I was bound to you quite some time ago, sort of like a string attached to two persons' fingers. I didn't show up sooner because I had no means of contacting you." She described that she had been trying to contact him through other consoles but never had the means of speaking with him until he got the Xbox, which had microphone and headset capabilities. Following this, he took a nap on his couch and woke up almost an hour later to the voice of Cass saying, "Why didn't you say goodbye?" He tried to explain that he had just fallen asleep, but Cass didn't care. She suddenly went silent. Through his entire time playing Borderlands, she didn't speak once. And at this point it was getting late, so he told Cass goodnight and that he would be back in the morning. For a moment she spoke and asked him if she would really get to see him again. He responded yes and then went to bed. As he woke up to hit snooze on his alarm, he noticed his DS sitting on the table, except oddly enough, it had a headset attached to it. "Hello again," Cass said in a cheery tone. He sat up and rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Isn't this great? I found a way that we can stay together. The protagonist, now laughing nervously, responded simply with, yeah, I guess. At this point, he was getting kind of freaked out. There was a woman living inside of his Xbox, and now the same woman was in his DS? He wondered if she was stalking him or if he was in any immediate danger. He pressed Cass for answers, asking why she wanted to keep in communication with him. The woman explained that it was if she could see his memories and that she knew he's had a rough life. He shook his head in disbelief as he turned off his DS and walked into his kitchen. Something even creepier began to happen. While in the kitchen, he swore he could see a man hovering over someone defenseless. Now freaking out even more, he splashed more water into his face, trying to snap himself out of this. He started to hyperventilate at what he just saw right before his eyes. He needed answers, and he knew that only Cass could explain this. He headed back over to his Xbox, picked up the mic, and said, "Cass, what was that? What did I just see?" She explained that what he saw was a memory of hers. A man offered her a job, one that would change the face of communication for a millennium to come. That was the man he saw, the one who betrayed her. He stuck a knife into her stomach and stood over her defenseless body. That's when his television screen changed from the Xbox menu to Cass. She was now on the screen looking at him with tears rolling down her cheeks as she explained how she got into the console. The protagonist sat in front of the TV, pressing his hand against it, telling her that it was going to be okay. She explained that this man stuck something into her head. She could feel her memories, her emotions, her experiences, everything about her being pushed into this device. She then told the protagonist that she could only be brought back to life by the man's next victim. The gamer started breathing heavier again, feeling lightheaded. He stumbled to his room and dropped onto his bed. When he woke up, he was in a very white room, laying on a bed. He turned to see Cass standing behind a window. She said not to worry and that now he too must be bound to someone before returning back into the world. As he walked through the door to the room where Cass was, she whispered, "Now we can feel the embrace of total oblivion together." And that has been our solo story of the Scariest Borderlands Creepypastas titled Console Me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love by hitting that like and subscribe button. Plus, I want you to comment down below with your thoughts on this story. And for more videos like this one, all you have to do is click that playlist on your screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers. Until next time, take care.